He could do something about Kessler if he wanted, take care of him permanently. But then he'd have to run, and if he got caught, he'd end up in lockup until he was 25. It wasn't worth it. Not yet. He'd seen how annoying Kessler turned out to be. This place was tolerable, and if he could last out the year, he'd be rich. With that much money, he could buy freedom. He could buy anything he wanted. He'd wait and see. And as for them testing his powers, he'd see about that too. Whatever happened, it was their problem, their fault. He settled down on the bed. It was early, but he was tired. In a few minutes, he was asleep. Kate and the others didn't get much moved before Joyce called them down for dinner. Kate rather liked the feeling of eating at the big dining room table with 5 other people. 5, because Gabriel hadn't come out of his room, ignoring all knocks at his door. It was like being part of a large family, and everyone seemed to have a good time, except maybe Marisol, who didn't talk much. After dinner they went back to furniture arranging. There's plenty of furniture to pick from. The jumble in the hall and the room seemed to include every style ever invented. Kate and Anna's room ended up with 2 mismatched single beds, a cheap pressed wood bookcase, a beautiful French provincial chair, a Victorian roll-top desk, and the nightstand that had attacked Kate in the hall. Caitlin liked all of it. The bathroom in between the 2 small bedrooms was designated the girls' bathroom by Rob's decree. Girls need to be nearer to their stuff, he said obscurely to Lewis, who by then only shrugged. The boys would use the bathroom off the common room. Going to bed, Caitlin was happy. Indirect moonlight came in the window behind her. Northlight, she noted with pleasure. It shone on the beautiful cedar and cherry bark basket Anna had placed in their bookcase, and on the raven mask Anna had hung on the wall. Anna herself was breathing peacefully in the other bed. Caitlin's old life in Ohio seemed worlds away, and she was glad. Tomorrow's Sunday, she thought. Joyce promised to show us the lab, and after that maybe I'll do some drawing, and then maybe we can look around town. And on Monday we'll go to school, then I'll have a built-in set of friends. What a wonderful idea! She knew that Anna and Lewis, at least, would want to eat lunch together. She hoped Rod would too. As for Gabriel, well, the farther off he was, the better. She didn't feel sorry for him at all. Her thoughts drifted off. The vague discomfort she felt about Mr. Zetz had entirely disappeared. She'd slipped easily into sleep. And then suddenly she was wide awake. A figure was standing over her bed. Caitlin couldn't breathe. Her heart seemed to fill her mouth and throat, pounding. The moonlight was gone, and she couldn't make out any details of the figure. It was just a silhouette. For a wild instant, without knowing why, she thought, Rob? Gabriel? Then a dim light came through the window again. She saw the halo of mahogany hair and the full lips of Marisol. What's wrong? She whispered, sitting up. What are you doing here? Marisol's eyes were like black pits. Watch out, or get out, she hissed. What? Watch out, or get out. You kids think you're so smart, so psychic, don't you? So superior to everyone else. Caitlin couldn't speak. But you don't know anything. This place is different than you think. I've seen things. She shook her head and laughed roughly. Never mind. You'd just better watch out. She broke off suddenly and looked behind her. Caitlin could see only the black rectangle of the door, but she thought she heard a faint rattling sound down the hall. Marisol, what? Shut up. I've got to go. But Marisol was already leaving. An instant later, the door to Caitlin's room silently closed.